pupils. Nice to be with you again. How are you doing? I hope you're fine. I am fine also. You're welcome to our lesson on computer science. But before we move to our main lesson, let's do revision on our previous episode. In our previous episode, our topic was computer software. And we defined computer software as programs or coded instructions given to the computer to obey. Types of computer software, and they include system software and application software. We also state the importance of software, and I said that software helps the computer to do a job, and also it guides the computer on what to do. And software can be used in repairing the computer. Now on this episode, our topic is computer connection. Before we move to our main lesson, let's look at the specific objectives. At the end of this lesson, you should be able to understand the meaning of computer connection, identify the various cables used for computer connection. Now let's look at the meaning of computer connection. Computer connection is the link between a computer and an external component like keyboard, mouse, printer, etc. And this connection can be wireless, and some make use of cables, like what we have here. In this picture, it shows wireless connection. If you look at it very well, you see that there is no cable linked to the system, but all the external components are connected to the system. Now let's see examples of cables. We have VGA cable. This cable is used to connect monitor to CPU, which is Central Processing Unit. VGA means Video Graphic Adapter. Now this picture shows how VGA cable looks like. Let's move to another example of cables. We have keyboard and mouse cables. These cables are already connected to the keyboard and mouse on one end. If you look at the mouse very well, you see that the cable is already connected to the mouse at one end, and also here we have the keyboard. The cable is already connected to the keyboard, and the other mouse will be connected to the system. Now let's look at the next cable, which is USB cable. This is used to connect printers, scanners, and other USB devices. Like what we have here, this is how USB cable looks like. Now let's see network cables. Network cables are used to connect two or more computers together so that they can work in a network. Now this picture shows how network cable looks like. And network cable can also be used to connect two or more computers to share printer and scanners. Now let's see another example of cables, which is HDMI cables. HDMI cables are used in place of VGA cables, and it can be used to connect monitors, projectors, and other screens. HDMI means High Definition Multimedia Interface. Before we move to our homework, let's go back to the lesson for better understanding. First, we define computer connection as the link between computer and external components like keyboard, mouse, printer, etc. We also mention examples of cables, and they include VGA cables, USB cables, and network cables. Now for your homework, you're going to answer the following questions. How do you understand computer connection? 2. Which cable do we use to connect printer and monitor? We have come to the end of our lesson. Do have a lovely day and do your homework. Bye bye.